Good morning, Naked Mind, day 14. Although I've skipped a few days, so I'm over 2 months sober at this point. Got a little bit of an advantage here. We're going to talk about mindfulness in the midst of chaos. In the midst of movement and chaos, keep stillness inside of you. Deepak Chopra, who in the back of my mind, I suspect to be one of those fake Hollywood gurus. But anyways, so at this point in the experiment, awareness is the actual goal, not total abstinence. Well, it's a little different for me because in this program, if you can't be abstinent, your butt's getting kicked out. And I don't want that. So, some good news. Becoming aware of your urges, even if you give in to them, can have a positive effect on how you respond to those urges days or weeks from now. When you try to stay present and mindful during a craving, you might be able to resist it in the moment. And even if you don't, you're still helping yourself in the long run. And remember, the body, the mind, rewards itself with a hit of dopamine if you get through that craving. Studies show that when you try to repress or ignore an urge, you're actually making it worse. Remember, we talked about willpower. Willpower is defined as the expenditure of energy to refrain from doing something. And you only have so much energy, so there's diminishing returns on your willpower. And to go about it that way, it can be very demoralizing when you do give in. That's one thing that I don't really appreciate about the whole AA program is it's all or nothing. And that's a lot of pressure. Perfectionism puts a lot of pressure on the mind. Let's see. When you do that, you're making it stronger. You're making it worse, the urges. Better that we turn around and face it head on. Dive right in. Become aware of the feelings and emotions and physical sensations we're having during the craving. This is a technique called surfing the urge. It was developed by two research scientists with PhDs at the Addictive Behaviors Research Center at the University of Washington. It was originally designed for smoking addiction, but it works for all cravings. And basically what happened is these researchers told the smokers, they bought them a pack of cigarettes, said don't smoke for 12 hours before the experiment. Then they come in, they give them the pack of cigarette, and they say wait to smoke. Play with the cellophane, unwrap it, smell the cigarette, light the lighter but not the cigarette. And eventually, wait. Be mindful, be present in the moment, in the craving. And eventually, all of the people in this study smoked a cigarette. But the cool thing was, within 48 hours, they had naturally cut back their cigarette consumption by 37%. And that's without forcing it. So what you're doing when you're mindful and present during a craving is you're physically disconnecting your brain from this impulsive behavior. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes and the less tightly addiction has a grip on you. Even if you give in, you're still disrupting this grip. So if you think of craving as a wave, sometimes it peaks and sometimes it troughs. Sometimes it's small and manageable. Other times it seems like it's crashing down on you and you're powerless to resist the undertow. No matter how powerful the urge, mindfulness is the key. So the next time you have a craving, ask yourself questions like this. What was I thinking right before the craving started? What was I feeling? What was my emotional state? What am I thinking and feeling right now? How does my body feel physically? Am I nervous, sweaty, or anxious? Are these thoughts and feelings true? Would I feel better not thinking these thoughts? So now onto the journal entries. First one, there's 3 today, but we're really just going through 2. Mindful cravings, at whatever point you notice a craving, journal through these questions. What was I thinking right before the craving started? What was I feeling? What was my emotional state? So my last craving was 4 days ago on a Saturday after getting my grocery shopping done, all my pressing chores. I had nothing urgent that I had to do. I was sitting quietly and calmly with myself. That's a pattern That's what I was trying to avoid through drinking, was having to feel normal. I didn't know how to do that. I do now. So I recalled in the past, these moments, I would run to the store, grab some wine, grab some whiskey just to avoid feeling bored or my natural state. These were moments of mild anxiety for me. This time, however, I just accepted the situation. I picked up a fiction book and within moments felt at peace and even accomplished because I was being productive by reading while still doing something fun and relaxing. All right, journal entry number 2. What judgments and condemnations of yourself come up when you are craving? Do you judge yourself as weak, broken, different, etc., etc.? So I wonder to what extent my brain is still physically addicted to alcohol, to the point that if I were to pick up one drink, would that be like riding a bicycle for the first time in 10 years? It would just come back naturally. That's my concern. And that's why they say one is not enough, but one is too many. So I do avoid the stigma of alcoholism because it comes with a lot of character defects, and it's all or nothing, like I was talking about. But I judge myself to have an addiction that I worked very hard and diligently to create. Journal entry number 3, discovering truth. Have a look at each point on your list of judgments and ask yourself, is this true? Or are there other reasons for my cravings? Blah, 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 blah. Perhaps how alcohol works on the brain, or maybe you were just tired. So I said C, journal entry number 2, because I pretty much covered the answers to that already. All right, I got to go clock in.